Introduction to Linux. Users and groups. Folder permissions. So in this video we are going to see how we can set permissions for each user to access the folders. So first of all, let's check the whole folder. We are inside the folder srv/alpha1. So alpha1 is the name of the folder. We also have another group called alpha. Okay, so let's change the ownership of the sales department to Brian. So this command also needs the sudo command. So sudo chown-r Brian sales. So the folder name is sales. So let's check the ls-la again. So we can see that the sales folder has the owner as Brian. Okay, so the first column is all the owners, second column is the groups. Okay, we can use this command chgrp-r sales is the name of the group, and the second word sales is the name of the folder. Again, we use the sudo command in front. Sudo chgrp-r sales space sales. So let's check. We can see the sales folder has been assigned to the group sales. So moving on, let's try to do for the other folders. Let's try for dev folder, the developers folder. So chown-r. So let's assign one of the members of the folder. Let's say, for example, Samuel : dev. So here this dev refers to the group and the second dev refers to the folder. So let's check again ls-la, and we can see the dev folder has been assigned to the user Samuel and group dev. So we're going to try for the other folders also. So again, we need to use the sudo command in front. Sudo chown-r Brian : sales space Brian. So the chown command can be used as a shortcut. So we can use this, and we can also assign the permissions for the particular folder. So for example, now the folder Tina has been assigned with the user Tina, which is the owner, followed by the group sales. So let's try with another folder. For the folder Samuel, so Let's try for another folder, for the folder Eric. So Eric : dev space Eric. So let's check what we've done, and we can see that the changes have been reflected there. So the chown command can also assign the user, and it can also assign the group in one line. The ch group only assigns the group. So let's say now for the general folder we want everyone to access, so we can assign it with the group alpha. So earlier it has been L-admin, so now it has changed to alpha. So we can see there's another folder there, project 123, and we want to assign project 123 with the group alpha. So as you can see here, previously it was L-admin, and now it has changed to the group alpha. So that's how we can assign ownership to groups and folders. So let's look at a few more examples. So in these examples, we want to see how we can prevent outsiders, those who are not in the organization. So for example, we have 4 users in the organization. So let's type ls and pwd. So let's say we want to prevent a user outside. So they should not be able to enter into this folder. So let's go inside this folder, cdsrv ls, so pwd. So let's change the permission level. So for this permission level, we have this command which is chmod, chmod. So -r refers to recursive. That means it will set the permission number for all the folders and files within this folder. So 770. So 770 means the first number is for the user, the second number is for the group, the third number is for others. So again, we have to use the sudo command here, sudo chmod -r 770 alpha1. So alpha1 is the name of the folder that has been assigned for this organization. So we are also going to assign the group alpha to this folder, alpha1. So let's check again. So we can see that the folder has changed. So you can see the permission to access has changed. So let's test it out. So we have a user whose name is John, who is not under the group alpha. So let's try to log in as John. We have managed to log in as John. So now we're going to go into the SRV folder. So we can see alpha1 there. So John is not a member of the group alpha. Let's check it out. We type ID John. So John is a member of the group movie. Okay, so now we're going to test whether we can access. But before that, let's list down the members of the group. So we got 4 members in the group. So we're going to test access cd alpha1. So it shows permission denied. So it won't allow another user to enter into this folder. We type exit and clear to clear the screen. Let's check if our own staffs are able to access into the folder. So just to understand, we have used the command chmod earlier to change the permission number on the particular folder for this whole company, which is the alpha1. So let's use the username Brian. So we're going to try to log in as Brian. Now we have logged in as Brian. So let's go into the SRV folder. We can see the list of folders there. So as we recall, Brian is a member of the group Alpha. So you should be able to go into Alpha1. So we type ls-la. So Brian is able to see the contents of this folder inside Alpha1. So we're going to see how we can set up department level access. So as we recall, we have two departments under the organization Alpha. So let's check the folder. So we type ls-la. So we are in the current folder ls-la. So sudo ch group -r sales, that's the name of the group, sales, and we are assigning to the folder sales. So let's double check. We can see that the sales folder has been changed to sales. So now let's try to do for the other department, which is the developers department. So we're going to type sudo chgrp -r dev, that's the name of the group, and dev is the name of the folder. As you can see, the dev group name has changed into dev. The owner of the group dev is Samuel. So similarly, now we can try the chmod command, sudo chmod -r. So we want to try to set up department level access, so only those staffs in that particular department can access that particular folder. So we need to put 770 for the folder sales, and similarly we put 770 for the folder dev. So the first number 7 is for the owner, the second number 7 is for the group, and the third number 0, that means no permission for other people outside the sales group. So let's try to test it out. So it will be a good idea every time we make changes to the folder permission, we should test it out as the particular user. So we're going to test out as the user Tina. We type in the password. So now let's go into the folder SRV Alpha1, which is the organizations folder. So here we can see that we are inside the folder as a staff. So now we can enter the sales department level folder. because Tina is a member of the group sales. So we go one level up, cd dot dot slash. So we can see that when we try to enter the folder DEV, we are not able to because that is another department, and only those members of that department can enter into that department's folder. So let's try to log in with the user Eric. So Eric is the member of the developers department. So he's a member of the DEV group. So now we've logged in as Eric. So let's go into the folder of the whole organization. We should be able to do that. We are inside that folder. So now we have set up department level access. So he should be able to go under DEV folder because it's his department. So let's go up one level, cd dot dot slash ls, and now let's try to go into the sales department. So it shows permission denied. So Eric is not able to go into the sales department because he is not a member of the group sales. We can also set up personal level access for each folder. So let's clear the screen. We type ls and pwd ls-la. So we can see that we have this list here. So we can use the command chgrp-r. So let's say, for example, Brian should be only Brian should be able to access the folder Brian. So when you add the user, automatically there is a group called Brian also added. So now in this command we are setting up. Earlier, anybody in the company or organization can enter into Brian's folder. So now we are setting up only the group Brian. As you can see, it has changed. Group Brian and user Brian can enter into the folder Brian. So let's do the same for the other users. So in this way, you can have personal folders and files inside that particular folder. So this is how we set up a personal level access for each user. So we can see that the 4 staffs have been assigned with the group with their same name as their username. Let's test it out. We type clear. Let's log in as Brian. Add localhost. So we type Brian's password. We are now in the system as Brian. So we go into the particular folder, the organizations folder, Alpha 1. So now we are inside the folder, Alpha 1. So we can go inside Brian's own folder, personal folder, and let's create a file here. So we call it Brian list.txt. So we use the touch command to create a file. So the file is here. So let's go up one level And now let's go into another users folder, for example Tina's folder, and it says permission denied. So it won't allow anyone to go into another person's personal folder. So just to test it out, we try to go into Samuel's folder and Eric's folder. It'll be a good idea to test like this for each user. CD sales. So Brian is a member of the department sales, so he should be able to enter into the sales folder. So let's create a sales report here. Sales report from Brian.txt. Enter. Yes, the file is there. We try to go up one level. So let's try to set up a common access folder. So this folder everyone should be able to access. So let's clear the screen again. So we type clear, we type ls-la. So we can see that we have already made two common folders. So let's check the group membership. So we can see that for the group we have 4 members. So we're going to use the chgrp command. So to change the ownership of project 123, so we're going to change the group of project 123 so into project 123. So let's check the result. So we can see that it has been changed, project 123, and the general group, the group is alpha. Now let's test it out we are going to log in as a user and test out whether this setup works. So we're going to log in as Tina. So we type the password. We are in the system. So now we go to our organizations folder. So we can see the list of folders here. So Tina is a member of the group department or sales. So you can go inside the folder sales. So you can see the file that was created by Brian is there. So let's create one file here. Sales summary from Tina. Make sure not to put any space in the file name. So you can see the 2 different files there. One is from Brian, one is from Tina inside the folder sales. So let's go up one level. So here let's go into Tina's own folder. It's empty. Let's create a file, for example personal notes.txt. The file is here. So we go up one level. So we are now in alpha 1, the folder alpha 1. Let's go into the general folder. This is a folder where all the staffs can access. Regardless of which department you are in, you can access this folder. So touch annual dinner.txt. Probably some files and information here are common to everyone. Let's go out of that folder. So let's go into this special folder. It's project 123. Let's make a sample file here. Special notes.txt. The file has been created inside this folder. Let's go up one level. So let's log out as Tina. Let's try to log in as another user, for example Samuel. So now we are logged in as Samuel. So let's go into the companies folder, Alpha 1. We are now in Alpha 1. So remember, Samuel is in the developers department, so he shouldn't be able to access sales. Should be able to access the DEV folder. Let's create an empty file here. Let's check. Yes, the file is there. So now we go up one level into the companies folder. You shouldn't be able to go inside Tina's folder. He should be able to go into his own folder. We create a file here, own notes.txt. The file is there, so we go up one level. So let's go into the general folder. We can see the file there. We can make another file. Let's find out who has made which file. We can see that the file Samuel has made is fees.txt and Tina has made another file there. So the project 123, Samuel should not be able to go inside because he's not a member of the group project 123. We will now look at providing special access to certain folders. So let's look at the list of groups. So we can see that Tina and Eric are members of the group project 123, and the 4 users, Brian, Tina, Samuel and Eric, are members of the group Alpha. So here we type SSH Eric, so we're going to go into the system as Eric. So we type in the password. We are logged in as Eric, so let's go into the organizations folder, Alpha 1. So let's go into project 123. So Eric is a member of project 123 and should be able to see the contents and enter into the folder. So Eric is now creating a file here in this folder, notes from eric.txt. As you can see, there are 2 files from Tina and 1 file from Eric. So now we're going to use the chmod command to change the permission of what Eric can do inside this folder. So 750 project 123. So 5 refers to read and execute. So we can see the W sign there. So let's press enter. We type ls-la. You can see the W sign is missing for project 123, the folder project 123. So the files are still there, Eric is still logged in, and let's try to create a file, nodes3 from eric.txt, permission denied. So Eric is not able to create any files inside this folder, but is able to read the contents. Let's look at a few more examples of special access. So as we recall, Brian is not a member of the group project 123. So Brian is a member of the group sales and also member of the group alpha. So we are now logged in as Brian. We are inside the main folder. So we type project 123, CD project 123. We can't go in because Brian is not a member. So the only way to allow Brian is adding him to the group project 123. But there's an alternative way we can use to allow Brian temporary access. So for example, we put 755 project 123. So for example, we want to allow Brian to access this folder for 1 month. So we use the command chmod-r 755 project 123. Then we press enter. So remember, we are logged in as Brian in the bottom terminal screen. So here now we try to enter into the folder again, and we can enter, and let's try to type ls. We can see the files. We can see the Eric and Tina, they've made some files. Let's try to make one file. We can't make the file. So we can only read the files here as Brian, but we cannot make a file inside this folder. So just to recap, we have changed the last section of the group permissions. You can see there the R and X. So Brian is able to access into this folder even though Brian is not a member of the group project 123. He can still access into this folder for a temporary basis. So now it's going out one level, up one level. So let's say we decide to change the permission to lock the folder to other company members. So we just have to put the number 750, and now let's try as Brian. So we try to go inside the folder project 123 and we are unable to go in. It shows permission denied. So we can open access and close access immediately for selected users. who are member of certain groups. So there are a lot of ways you can explore the various access. Okay, thank you.